Coach Mullen for letting me be a part of his program here in the Mississippi State Bulldog family, and extremely excited to get going here. I've got a ton of respect for the coaching staff here on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. I haven't had a chance to work with some of them, and there's something special when you have an opportunity. I've been in a foxhole with somebody before. You kind of have an opportunity to see how they respond, see how they interact when the pressure's on. So it's always welcoming to have that opportunity to get back into, like I said, that foxhole with somebody that you've been in there with before.
Maybe you have a chance to look at the roster and think, well, thanks, Coach, for hiring me after all these guys graduated.
You know what? That's part of the deal. You know, I know they had a senior heavy class last year, but you know what? I'm pretty fired up about the guys I got today. And, you know, I looked at the roster, had a chance to see them work out a little bit, and I know I've had a chance to evaluate the young men coming in. So for me, it's an opportunity to get a chance to get in here and mold some of these guys. You know, as a position coach, one of the greatest things is to have an opportunity to maximize the potential of the young players that you have. So I'm fired up and have that opportunity to be able to do that.
Dan said y'all just kind of talk all the time. At what point did this come up that maybe, you know, to join the staff and it's really good?
Well, I can't tell you exactly what time, when, but like I said, you know, I've always stayed in contact with Coach Mullen. I have a ton of respect for him, had a ton of respect for him as a working side by side for him, and obviously now that he's been here as a head football coach, he's a fantastic guy. He's a great family guy, and I think when you start picking a place to have an opportunity to go coach, you want to, again, surround yourself with great people. And I know what kind of guy he is. I know he's a great father. I know he's a great leader. And those are the things that you look at. You look at how is he going to interact with our family? How is he going to be welcoming? And to me, you turn and find out what kind of father is he, and he's second to no one. So it was an easy decision for me to have an opportunity to reach out and join the staff with Coach Mullen.
I know this is your fourth job in 5 years. What have you learned through all those stops from Florida to here, and how much was a learning experience going to Illinois, being a co-offensive coordinator, going through some struggles?
I think everything's a learning opportunity. You know, I've been very fortunate to have coached with some great football coaches, and going to continue that here on this coaching staff, both assistant and head football coach. But every opportunity is a learning experience. And did we learn? I learned a ton. Probably learned a ton this past year, no different than what I did with opportunities at LSU and at Florida. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the system, picking up a playbook today, thumbing through it, and I'm fired up. I'm ready. And again, like I said, for me to have an opportunity to come back and help mold guys, help get some of these young guys established. And again, our job as an assistant coach is to maximize the potential of our student athlete. And I've got some guys to work with, so I know we had a senior heavy class last year that graduated, but I'm fired up to get going with this class of younger receivers.
When you look back at your season a year ago, what did you learn and what didn't work?
No, I think you can look back, and it's easy to point back and say this didn't work, that didn't work, or this worked. I think the biggest thing is just how to overcome and push yourself through situations. Everything's not always going to be a cakewalk, and you know, if anything, it leathers your skin a little bit. So next time you're in that situation, you know how to prepare yourself a little bit harder. And you know, if anything else, I'm hungry, I'm fired up, and I'm ready to work harder than I've ever had in my life. And I'm fired up to have this opportunity to be here.
Looking forward to being back in the Southeast and recruiting?
I am. You know, it's neat. I'm excited to get my family down here as soon as possible. I've got a 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And I went, the first time I had a chance, my son was playing basketball, so the first time I had a chance to go watch him play was this past weekend. And we were just talking on my way home, and you know, I just remember being down in the South. The weather's a little warmer, so to go out and be able to shoot hoops, a little easier to go out and shoot hoops, practice with my son in the front yard versus shoveling 2 or 3 inches of snow and trying to shoot hoops. So I'm excited to get back down this way.
What about recruiting, though, in the areas you've come pretty familiar with over the years?
Yeah, you know, we'll talk about as a staff when we start getting a little bit more in depth. I know I've had an opportunity to recruit in Florida, Louisiana, and really, it's I've had Dallas. I've had a variety of different areas. So wherever they put me, I'm excited to get going. First and foremost is to try to get evaluated. The wide receivers in the state of Mississippi. You know, first and foremost, it's our state. We want to protect our state.
David, how much does that playbook look familiar when you look at it?
A lot. Now, he's changed some terminology now. He's changed some of the things, but it was great to open it back up. And again, like I said, we watched some film today and hear Coach Hevesy jump up and start talking schematics. And I'm fired up. Like I said, I love everybody, and I have a ton of respect for Coach Brewster having an opportunity to let me move into the position where he was coaching, and it takes a strong man, it takes a strong leader. So I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to work with them. Obviously with Coach Salich as well, having an opportunity to move into the recruiting area. But strong group of coaches, and I'm fired up to be here.
Billy, I think Dan said it best. I mean, that's a combustible offensive room now with Coach Brewster, and you know what Dan Mullen and John Hennis here are all about. And Les is from Texas, so he's not going to back up from anybody. So just talk about the personalities in that room now when you guys dissect things.
Well, you know, everybody's going to have a responsibility, and no different from what they've done in the past. Danny's done a great job as far as making sure everybody's got their responsibility in their area, and that won't change. We'll pick up where we left off, and you know, again, for me, the first and foremost is to get to know my players. More than anything, I got to build a relationship with my guys here. You know, I think no different in life. You know, if the players know that you truly care about them, that you want them to be a part of your family, the guys that play for me are going to be a part of my family, and I believe that with all my heart. You know, they'll play a little hard for you if they know that you care about them as a person, not just as a football player. And you know, it's great to be around Coach Mullen, again, a family guy. I've been around coaches before, and I've seen it in this profession when people talk about family. It's neat to preach. It's neat to preach family in the recruiting process because that's what you got to do. But having an opportunity to be around a guy that when he talks about family, he really means it. And how do you know that? Again, like I said, I've been in that foxhole with him, and I've seen how he's interacted with my children and his children as well. And again, how he leads his football program.
How much of an immediate,
Basketball started, last question.
how much of an immediate comfort level, maybe compared to other transitions, just because you just know Dan so well along with Edison?
I think it's always nice to have an opportunity where you know people going into it, but at the same time, you know, everything's new. You know, for me, I'm down into a new offense, a beautiful facility, by the way. But everything's new. We got to, again, for me, I'm gonna hit this thing running as fast as I can and get going. My job, again, like I said, is to continue to educate my players, make sure they're living life right off the field, socially, academically. And help them if they have any spiritual guidance if they need it, and obviously to prepare these guys as young men. These are we've got a great group of people to work with here. And again, like I said, I'm gonna leave it with the last thing is I'm fired up to be a Bulldog. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.